What's up guys, it's Roger, and today I'll be teaching you how to use your Blink in Trials of Osiris on Javelin-4. Now Javelin-4 is my favorite PvP map in the entire game, and for good reason. It has good angles to peek from where you can use different kinds of ranges, anywhere from snipers to pulse rifles to very simply 140 hand cannons, which I think are the strongest type of weapons on this map, or like we're going to be using a 150 hand cannon, the only one left in the game actually, so pretty fun there. But now that we're talking about the build, why don't we just go ahead and break it down. We already started talking about the Sunshot, so I think we might as well just keep going. The Sunshot, like I said, is the only 150 RPM hand cannon left in the entire game. It's an exotic hand cannon and it has Sunburn as its intrinsic trait. This weapon fires explosive rounds and highlights targets that take damage from Sunshot. So essentially this thing has explosive payload on it. So explosive payload is very good, as you know, because it does not have any damage fall off. So even though this thing is a 150, it has a little bit less range maybe than a 140, although it has a 71 range stat with the catalyst slotted in there, so pretty dang good range, 65 stability. It's a very solid hand cannon. You can tell with that 91 handling, all around the stats on this thing are very good. It has a fast reload, it has not that much flinch, but it can do pretty good flinch to the enemy because, again, it has explosive payload. You can shoot your enemies from very far and get away with it, and this thing is all around just a great gun. There are some things that I think people struggle with, like the recoil on this gun, and I'm going to be touching on that a little later on how you can actually counteract that quite well. For our shotgun, I'm going to be using the Fractithis shotgun here. This is a great one from many seasons ago when I got this thing. Ooh, I loved it so much. I do have a quick draw and an opening shot roll right here with an assault mag so that I can shoot this thing a little bit faster. We love to see that. Now, precision frames I think are the best frames of shotguns in the game ever since the RNG was taken away from the pellet spread. I think that lightweight frames are still very good, and they are better than they were last season because with a more uniform pellet spread, the lightweights can map much easier. However, the precisions also getting a non-RNG spread on their pellets made them absolute monsters when it comes to their range and one-shot potential. So things like the Fractithis or the Retold Tail have become my new default when it comes to shotgunning. For our exotic armor, I'm going to be using Eye of Another World. I've been using a lot of Astrocyte Burst lately, but I wanted to do a little bit of a switch up, and Eye of Another World, in my opinion, is probably the second best Blink exotic. There are a lot of ones that are very, very good. Honestly, Secant Filaments are something that I'm planning to unlock here soon. I'll make some videos on that because that is a very good Blink exotic, but Eye of Another World is a very solid one. It's solid on any Warlock build, honestly. What does it do? Well, it has Cerebral Uplink as its armor perk. Highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities. Provides a small benefit to the airborne effectiveness stat of all weapons that is a plus 15 to your airborne effectiveness stat in case you are wondering. Pretty good stuff on this helmet. It highlights your targets. That's not really too big of a deal. It's nice, but the funny thing is this highlights our targets and the Sunshot does when we shoot them with the Sunshot, so that's kind of funny. Either way you shake it, these guys are going to be lighting up on your screen, baby. A little disco dance in front of you. The good thing about this though is how much it gives you in terms of ability regeneration. And a lot of this build is going to be centered around our grenade, and I'll get more into that in just a second. If you want to go ahead and break down the armor mods here, you can go ahead and look at all of those. If you want to look at our stats really quick, I'll point out too that I do have 100 recovery here. I always run 100 recovery on no matter what class I am on, whether it's Warlock or Hunter, but especially on Warlock, you do want to have that 100 recuv. After that, I have 100 discipline, because we are going to be centering this build quite a bit around our nades, so we want to make sure we have them up as much as possible. Now the nade we are going to be using with that is the Axion Bolt. The Axion Bolt, you will see my combo with this. I go down mid, I kind of throw it in, I take some shots with my hand cannon. You can get a very easy pick very early on with this Axion Bolt. And with the Eye of Another World plus 100 discipline, you get this thing up like crazy. Now for everything else, we just have a regular Nova Bob on here. We have a Healing Rift, Blink of course, we don't want to jump or float around, we're not some little freak, we like to blink. And then we have Pocket Singularity, because you know, we don't have any kind of Atomic Breach or anything, we just have to use Pocket Singularity, so thanks Bungie. After that, we have Feed the Void and Child of the Old Gods, or as we know him around here, Clarence. As you guys know by now, if you've watched any of these videos, I would never recommend you to use Chaos Accelerant. It can be fun and you can make some interesting builds with it, but in terms of actually tryharding with your Void Warlock, and specifically your Blink Warlock, you want to use Child of the Old Gods, or Clarence, and your Feed the Void. These two are just too good to pass up in my opinion, and I think most people would agree with that. For our fragments, we have Echo of Dilation. As always, while crouched, you sneak faster and gain enhanced radar resolution. Plus 10 mobility and plus 10 intellect. You can't go wrong with raw stats. That enhanced radar is really going to let us pick apart exactly where our enemies are through the wall very well. And when we're doing an aggressive shotgun blink playstyle like we are today, you very much want to have that, so you can go in and know exactly when to be aggressive. After that, we have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to you, i.e. your Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour have increased duration. That's going to lose you 10 recuff, so make sure you're keeping yourself at 100. Now that's going to make your Devour go from 10 seconds to 15 second duration when you first proc it. That extra 5 seconds on something like Devour is extremely helpful. I always recommend you have on Dilation and Persistence. I think these are two fragments you should never run your Void Warlock without having them on. After that, we have Echo of Expulsion, so anything that's going to blow our enemies up with a Void ability, so our Pocket Singularity or our nade, stuff like that, is going to let the target explode one more time. which will do some damage to their buddies, maybe get an extra kill. That gives us 10 intellect, so you can't go wrong there. And in finishing it off, we have Echo of Remnants. This is going to make our Axiom Bolt have increased duration, so we can chase those cheeks out just a little bit longer and have a better chance of getting kills. I think that's the entire build laid out for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments, or go to the top right or the description of the video if you want to join the Blinkville Discord server. If you want to come in there, we have a bunch of Blink Warlocks, Blink Hunters, you can make some Blink friends, and even if you're some stinky little hunter or something like that, shoving crayons in your mouth all day, we'd love to have you. All that being said, I think we're about ready to get into this. If you want to leave me a like at any point in this video, though, I do say that very much helps me. It tells YouTube you're enjoying the video, and then they can go ahead and send it out to more people so they can enjoy it too. But all that being said, let's go ahead and blink on into it. Now, as always, I'm going to be starting here with my first clip of the day. It's not the greatest clip of all time, but I like to get my first clip to show you guys very specifically what I'm doing when I start out, because sure, I have a general idea of what I want to do on these maps because I've played them before, but I like to kind of figure it out and show you exactly what my thought process is as I start out. Now you can see here, I throw in the Axiom Bolt. It actually did do a little bit of damage there if you saw it tick on somebody on the right side. I came over, got a flank on the left here, and it got some nice shots, enabled my teammates to go and take these guys out, and we won the round here after a second. I was watching Clarence do ticks of damage. I wanted to fly in, see if I could get some good shots on one of these guys with a shotgun, but unfortunately, this guy was watching down the hallway, and my teammates were just not going quick enough and pushing in. I thought after we got the first pick and they saw me flying in, Clarence was weakening them, my teammates would actually follow up, but they were a little slow, but fortunately, they did hit their shots, and they cleaned that round up, so I have to appreciate that at the very least. Now, this is usually where I go, right? To the inside of this map. This is the very next round. You can see with some nice placed shots, that guy has to run away, about 53 damage each time you're hitting a headshot there. I follow the ticks of damage from Clarence. If you watch your ticks of damage from Clarence through the wall, you're going to see exactly where your enemy is going to be. You can come around, take them out very easily. Now, this right here is my favorite way to start these rounds. This is the strategy. You throw the Axiom Bolt straight over the top of right there, right? People are oftentimes going to be right on the other side of that. The Axiom Bolt's going to chase them out, if not do a little bit of damage, and then you can fly in with your hand cannon from a range and do some damage, or you can go in with your shotgun and clean them up with a little bit of damage from the Axiom Bolt. Because here's the thing, they have two choices, right? Shoot the Axiom Bolt or shoot you. Especially when you're right on top of them and the Axiom Bolt's coming at them, they can only choose one thing. And if you get a well-placed shotgun shot, that's either going to one-shot them or do enough damage to where even if they kill you, the Axiom Bolt will kill them a second later. That's what's so good about the Axiom Bolt. You kind of have to use it as if it's another teammate, and you're using that teammate to pinch the enemy. That's exactly how you're going to be using it, and if you do it that way, you're going to be very successful. You can see Clarence is weakening these guys right now, and I already have another Clarence on top of my left of my screen, right? I put a rift down, I already got another one. Look at the bottom left of my screen right now. Look how quick I'm getting that rift. I'm already halfway to another rift. By the time the next round starts, look at this. I'm going in the lane here. I already have another rift up. And that's what I'm saying with this I Have Another World. How quickly you can get your abilities back up is absolutely insane. The same thing with my Axiom Bolt there, you can see in the bottom left. Coming back pretty quick, this kid tried to crush that OP melee, but unfortunately he didn't realize I could just bop him in the booty. That's exactly what I did. Start shooting at his teammate, blink over these boxes. If you're ever thinking these teammates are coming, or these enemies are coming at you, excuse me, down the hallway, watch your radar. When you see the radar ping turn very deep red, that means your enemy's right on the other side of those boxes. What you can then do is blink over those boxes and land directly on their head. Now, I will say, be very careful if you are blinking in these deep hallways here, because there's a lot of support beams on top of you right there. Like you can see, I kind of clonked my head on one right there. I clonked my head on that on purpose, excuse me, because I know if I hit it, I could land right on top of that guy that I took out with a shotgun and easily take him out. So keep that in mind. There are a lot of support beams on the top of that roof there. I actually have an entire map guide for Javelin-4. I'll link that on the end screen if you're interested, and you can go watch that after this video. It has some very good tips for how to blink around perfectly on this map that I think will come in handy for you. You can see right there is a very good example of when Sunshot kills, it actually does a little firefly explosion and can take out enemies around the first person you took out, and that right there was a perfect example. My Axiom Bolt did hit that guy on the right side for 94 damage, so he had to back up. I shot this guy a few times, took him out with my teammates, got the sword ammo here, sliced through. I wanted to slice his pussy open like some nice buttered bread, but unfortunately it kind of just whiffed him. I got another sword play of the day that you're going to see later on in the video, and it also kind of just like whiffed through the enemy. Like it made the noise like I hit the guy, and it just didn't do damage until I hit him again with the sword. The swords have been kind of wonky lately. I think it's just kind of like desync from the game, and what are you gonna do? It's freaking Bungie for you, right? But you just gotta follow up, keep swinging that sword until you take someone out. There's again, you can go through those boxes, over those boxes I should say, and get way behind people farther down the hallway. You don't have to hit your head on those little support beams on top, but it's all going to be about the angle you choose, and oftentimes I would recommend to you, if you want to go over the boxes and kind of go farther behind the boxes, then just do a small tap on your jump button before you go into a blink. There are different ways you can do your blinks and your jumps before you go into a blink, and if you do just tap your jump button, whether you are on mouse and keyboard like I am, or you're on a controller, you can slightly tap the A button or the X button on PlayStation controllers. Don't spear me for that if I'm wrong. I never played PlayStation really, so I'm not sure, but I think it's the X button for you guys. But the point is your jump button, you can slightly tap it and then go into a blink, and that's going to let you get into your blink animation quicker, and also the blink will not be as high because, you know, you're not starting out as high. It all works out. It's a lot of muscle memory that you're really going to have to be doing to get this stuff down, but you'll get there. Now you can see here I got a nice flank on these guys, waited until they got over here, and then just shot some nice shots in. Here's what I think happens a lot of time with the Sunshot and why people don't like it, because oftentimes I hear people say, I can't use the Sunshot, Roger, whenever I make a Sunshot video. They're like, I just can't do it. It's too unwieldy. It has too much recoil. What I want to tell you is, I do not personally think that the Sunshot has as much recoil as people make it out. I think a lot of times people freak out and they're like, ooh, the Sunshot has so much recoil. I've whiffed a couple of shotgun shots there, but I wanted to show you, like, just be careful with your shotgun shots because sometimes people do not move as much as you think they will, and that might cause you to whiff a shotgun shot. So just wait till your enemy is really in that position you want them to be at before you pull the trigger with your shotgun. But back to what I was saying about the Sunshot is, a lot of times I think the recoil is not actually as bad as people think it is. It has a lot of kick, or so it shows it does. I do not think that the Sunshot actually has as much kick as people think it does. Watch when I shoot at the next person. I think I'm going to get a nice little shotgun play on this guy. Fly behind him here, get a nice flick with my shotgun and take him out real easy. But when I'm shooting with my Sunshot here again, you'll see it looks like it kicks a lot, right? But honestly, it really doesn't kick much more than something like an Austringer does, to be completely honest with you. This play was really funny. I was using my blink in the best way I could to get this guy to chase behind me. As soon as I had him chasing behind me, I just waited until he was close to my radar and that I thought I could fight him. He kind of came a little closer here. I decided, okay, I want to get back towards B site. So I blink over his head. I blink one more time on top of B here, slide in after I do my blink, and then I see if I want to fight this guy. I turn around, boom, boom, boom. 3 shots to the head, takes him out pretty easily. Looking for the last guy, I blink forward one time, aim onto this enemy right here, going through a hunter dodge, and smack him in the head real easy. So when you see that 3 tap that I'm talking about right there, I'm telling you, just like an Austringer, follow the same exact recoil pattern as you would for an Austringer. If that's a hand cannon that you're very much used to, then you should understand that recoil pattern is honestly a pretty simple one. It doesn't have too much kick to it, and a lot of stability on the Austringer, as well if you're using Eye of the Storm like I usually do, will make it to where you don't get that much flinch, and the Sunshot has a very similar amount of that anti-flinch because it has such a good stability stat on it. So what I'm trying to say is just don't pull down so much after you shoot with the Sunshot. Just give it a second, let it come back into its natural state where it should be, its natural middle ground in the middle of your screen with its reticle. And as soon as it gets there, then go ahead and pull the trigger again. But don't pull down too much. I think people over adjust with their Sunshots, and that's why they miss so much. So put those tips into effect next time you use this gun. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Now you can see here I've been using my things like clearance and my axiom bolt to get on top of these guys with my Sunshot and or my fractive like right there and take them out. Kind of a problem right there. It took me a bit to find where that guy was. Here's the thing when I don't have my astrocyte burst on, is I don't have my radar on the entire time I go through a blink. That kind of messes me up, and as you saw in that last clip, sometimes I don't find my enemies as fast as I would like to, especially like there, I blinked on top of that guy, and he was actually just like tickling my feet, and while I do like a little foot tickle, you know, maybe take a nice little ostrich feather and give me a little ticky, I didn't quite want him there, so that was quite frustrating, but I did find him and smack him pretty good. Screw this guy trying to crush those throwing knives, but fortunately, like I'm saying, he had 2 choices, right? Shoot me or shoot the axiom bolt. He decided to use his ability, so he didn't get to shoot either, but he did kill me, but not before I got my shotgun shot out, and that's what I'm saying. I got the shotgun shot out, and that let my axiom bolt do enough damage to just kill him. So no matter what, I killed him there, right? That's the effectiveness that we're talking about. That's why we're trying to play around these axiom bolts as if they were another teammate, as if it's a freaking linebacker in front of you, and he's just trucking forward to smack down the next person that you can see. Throw my axiom bolt here before I shoot this guy. Since I saw the axiom bolt was going to be pushing him towards diamond door, I knew I could push forward with my shotgun and easily take him out. Now you're going to be thinking, where did my shotgun shots go on that last guy right there? Don't worry, I was thinking the same thing too. I actually watched it frame by frame because I was so confused. It looked like I pulled my shotgun shot down very slightly at the end, and I think my shots went into the floor, so that's kind of frustrating, but that's on me. So what are you going to do? Take some nice shots on this guy, wait for clearance to get in there, shoot him in the feet. I was going to reload, but I saw the one last guy peeking, so I took some nice shots on him. 3 headshots, take him out pretty easily there. You can see as they get closer, it's going to be increasing headshot damage, of course, but with the explosive payload, it doesn't even really matter that they get that close to you because you can just take more shots and still take them out from a farther range. This gun does have 12 bullets in the mag, so it's pretty effective at working from farther ranges, even if you're only hitting headshots. Even right here, I knew this guy was at low enough health that I could just shoot him without having to take out my shotgun, that I would kill him when he came through that barrier right there, and then he did get the immune barrier glitch, as you can see with my shotgun shot, so that's fun. Hey, Bungie, maybe I'm freaking fix that, because it's been an entire season that we've been dealing with this so far, and, you know, it really can't be that hard to fix. I mean, what do you guys do? What do you guys do there? You don't balance the game. You don't fix the bugs. So what do you do all day? You just sitting there jacking each other? Okay, I'm getting off track, but screw that bug. Seriously, screw that bug. Flying in here, smack this guy forward with a pocket singularity, shoot him in the back, knock him down like a little turtle stuck in his shell. This guy flies in, I take him out with a nicely placed shotgun shot as well. Try to shoot this guy with my Sunshot, which makes him back up. I fly in on him with my shotgun here. I unfortunately do miss the shot because I thought he was going to be more to the right, but he came back to the left at the last second. Luckily, I can take my fist out, play patty cake with his ball sack, and knock him into the next dimension. Fly in here, put a rift down, we have Clarence, shoot him in. I want to back Clarence up, that's exactly what I do. Fly in with my shotgun. Unfortunately, I got a little overzealous here, but I was able to go for a 1-for-1 trade. My teammate cleans up the second one that was weakened by Clarence, and then he comes back, reses me. I do my smartest play here is to watch my third teammate to see who he's fighting and what situation he's in. Once I know what situation the third guy is in, then I know what I have to fight after I get rezzed. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you know what you're going to be able to fight once you get rezzed by your last teammate there, so that as soon as you get rezzed, you can go right into that battle knowing as much information as possible. We are getting into the last few clips here, so I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Again, like I said earlier, if you do want to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, or hit that notification bell so you can see more in the future, I would really appreciate that. I do as many Destiny videos as I can stomach a week because this game can be awful annoying to play, but I do still love it in its simplest form, which is why I still play it. I love Blink, and I love bringing you guys Blink content to make you as close as you can be, or all the way to a Blink master as myself am. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. Tell me how your trials experiences are going. Tell me maybe you're going to use this strategy for yourself. Maybe switch it up a little bit. Use whatever kind of hand cannon you want if you don't like Sunshot. But I very much do implore you, if you're thinking that you're not too good with Sunshot, take the tips that I told you earlier. Don't go too crazy on the recoil and try Sunshot again, because I think you could be very effective with it this weekend if you go ahead and just put it in your hands and have a fun time with it. It's a perfect gun for this map. All that being said, that is it for me today. So as always, have a great day, Guardians.